Okay. So so then here's what I want to train you to do in terms of muscle memory. I want you to, like, within seconds of loading any chart, any SPY chart, I want you to immediately show me where the upper and lower bands of the the 1 hour opening range are. Okay? So let's do
Mm-hmm.
that right now. Okay, that's the bottom of the opening range. That's right. And that's the top. Okay. And then so as you can see, we did not break out of that opening range until well after noon. That was that looks like it was like 2:30 p.m. or something. So so we need to break out of it before um well, actually I don't know. What I do is 11:30 Pacific time. No, no, no. I do 11:30 to noon Eastern time. Okay, okay. All right, cool. So yeah, so the chart time is going to be Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So then hover over noon chart time. Yeah, noon. So that is the very last moment at which we can get a breakout out of the opening range. And even then, a a noonish breakout is very late in the day. And ideally for stronger trend days, we want to break out kind of quickly and well before 11:30. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, and then there's another quality of recognizing trend days, which is that the faster we get a 15-minute breakout, and the faster we get a 30-minute breakout, and the faster we get a 1 hour breakout, the more likely it is to be a trend day. So in this case, the 15-minute breakout was immediate.
Mm-hmm.
You hover over the 15-minute breakout. Yeah, right there, right there. So you see, immediately after the 15-minute range was formed, the very next candle we broke out. And then the 30-minute breakout, we also had an immediate breakout. Wait, actually, no, we didn't. Yeah. Okay, so that one it didn't happen. So at that point,
Yeah.
you've got to be
Took
thinking,
me.
okay, it's not immediate. So let's see what happens. Eventually we did kind of break out of the 30-minute opening range, but it was a fake
Snap
down.
right back.
Yeah, and so we don't really want and we don't count the wicks either. So it
Right.
wasn't until like move your cursor to the, like 30 minutes forward. Yeah, the red candle. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
It
go.
wasn't until there that we're like breaking out of the 30-minute range. And even then it's like, you know,
Barely.
it's and then just the fact that we had that 3 bar rally before we broke down, that shows that that shows
Range
that
day.
it's not well, no, it doesn't really show that it is a range day. But it shows that it reduces the likelihood. So the more choppy it is, the less likely that we have a trend day. Trend days come from explosive energy. Trend days
Right.
come when people are desperate. Okay? So so yeah. So press left and we're gonna do the same thing for like 100 charts. Okay. Do we have a breakout of the 1 hour?
So I guess that happens up here. So it's
Looks like it, yeah. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah, we broke out there and that was pretty fast.
yeah.
And it's pretty much a straight line. So at that point, we know, okay, this is going to be a trend day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the breakout was a bit choppy and fake outy, so we don't get that strong of a confirmation until later. So this was a bit of a choppy, ugly trend day. It's not really the most easily tradable trend day because like it threatened range day so many times. Um, Do you want me to teach you a new rule, or do you want to just keep on identifying these for the muscle memory?
Um, We go to the new rule.
Okay. So the trend days, what happens with the trend days is that they tend to, at some point during power hour, hit the high of the day. Okay. So once you are sure it's a trend day, you know that there's going to be buyable dips on the way between the breakout and power hour. Okay.
And so you'd consider this dip tradable?
No, because at that point, I'm not even sure if it's a trend day or not. It could be a fake out.
Right, because
Yeah.
it
Yeah, because
snapped
like
back pretty fast.
yeah, is a very choppy breakout and so I don't like it. But go to the right. Actually, can I have screen control? How do I how do I request control of this shit?
Give. All right, I just gave it to you.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like something like this. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, this is definitely a fucking trend day, right? So at this
Hmm.
point, I could buy the dip. Okay? These three candles right here. So yeah, and that's the trade. Um, but this is not the ideal one, so let's go to the next one.
Oh, you've
Pre,
got
pre,
control.
well, I think we both have control, don't we? You could still press the left arrow key, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, is this a trend day?
Not really, because
Yeah,
it's
it's a this is the
choppy.
weirdest day I've ever seen in my life. Um, we broke out of uh, the hourly range um to the downside, and then we broke out to the upside, and then we broke out to the downside again. This megaphone pattern, extremely rare. Like we need to treat it as though it doesn't exist. Um, next, but notice how it's very choppy during that first hour. So we already know it's not trend day.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go next. Okay, it is a trend day.
Yeah, it broke out pretty aggressively, pretty fast. Um,
Well, at what time did it break out?
well, right here,
Nope, you're wrong. I told you you have to immediately, for every chart we load, we you have to find the hourly range.
hourly.
The top, yeah, the top and the bottom of the hourly range. Okay? And so that point that you just showed me is not the point at which we broke out of the hourly range.
Right. So this
You
is the
need,
hourly range right here.
sure. And at what time did we break out of the hourly range?
So not till
What time is
near.
that?
It's not showing the times for some
Okay, try
reason. Hold on,
refreshing.
I'll be right back.
I think it might be a bug. Nope, it's still not showing the time.
Let me try turning off
Something
the
screwy.
shared tooltip.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's a shared when the shared tooltip is on, I
Okay,
guess.
so what time is that?
11:45.
Okay, so that's cutting it really close, right? And
Hmm.
it's not like a decisive definitive breakout either. So we didn't get what I consider to be a very strong trend day. Um, it was a very sort of tepid, waffly sort of breakout, and that's why we got the big retrace later on. Next, is it a trend day?
Yes,
What time did we break out?
10:40. Or
No, I don't think so. We're not breaking out until because the top of the opening range is here. It's this top wick right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then this does not break out of the of that range. So, I mean, if this were TWS, I would draw two lines here, one line there, one line there. Do I dare try to draw a line? So you have to just immediately, oh God. See,
Yeah.
that's what I get for trying to draw a line. Forget this line drawing. How do I undo? Oh no, now I am. Oh God. Okay. So yeah. So just imagine another line here, right? So we have 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Yeah, so that's the top of the opening range. This is the bottom. And we didn't break out until here, which is 10:55. So it is a trend day. However, it's also the day after Thanksgiving. So it's a half day. So we don't really know. This is going to be a weird fucking day. But it did trend strong in the morning. It dipped back into the opening range, and the dips become viable enough because this is a pretty strong morning and breakout. So I would be inclined to buy this, even though we're dipping back into the opening range. And it almost feels like the after hours effect is happening, is where the rest of the trend day effect is happening. Okay, next. All right, is it a trend day?
I'd say yeah, even though it happened within 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes.
Okay, when was the breakout confirmed? What time was the breakout very confirmed?
10:45.
No, I wouldn't say so. That could still be a fake out. The the breakout, it occurs somewhere on here, maybe even here. So it's a little bit late. This is good. Like I'm not saying this is bad, but it's good that we have this, but immediately after we have this fake out bar and uh and then we have this sort of, you know, kind of cutting it close thing. But at this point, it's kind of like we have to relent. We have to be like, okay, fine, this is a fucking trend day, right? And then we go up, and when it comes to trend days, the first touch of the EMA or the middle Bollinger Band is a buy. So you could buy some around here, or you could buy here for 1 bar or something like that. But the angle of ascent, it matters. And this is very strong. This is like a
Mhm.
gazillion green bars in a row. So you know that when this dips, you buy it. So it's a good time to buy. And as you can see, uh, the trend day rule of it hitting the high of the day during power hour, it it held. Okay? So it's very valuable to know whether or not a day is a trend day or not, because a trend day is a free money day. You make free money in the afternoon, uh, between around noonish to the afternoon in a trend day. Okay, between 12 and 3 Eastern, you make a lot of free money. It's not going to be a lot of money, but it's going to be free and it's going to be easy and it's going to be low risk. So if you're a beginning trader, definitely, oh, actually, there's people that want to come. Shit. Um, let me try to invite people. How come I can't even, is it because, this is how you invite. Okay. Man, I'm such a fucking boomer. Okay. Um, all right. So, so far I've quizzed you multiple times on trend days. Seems like you still don't quite get it. So try to keep up with me, and we're going to keep on doing this until you are able to identify them, okay? Next.
And for the
Hmm.
for that 1 hour breakout, you'd like to see like basically two candles, like a second candle confirming it, even after the.
Yeah. Yeah. Second,
Okay.
third candle. I think three green candles in a row really confirms that breakout.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Next. All right. Is this a trend day?
Yes.
Yes. Now you got it. Now you finally get it, John Tresco. This is a trend day. This is the first trend day that we've seen in the set where it's extremely obviously a fucking trend day, right? Because we
Yeah.
break out immediately after the hourly range. I have to start admitting people. People want to join. They're not even going to understand the context of our conversation, unfortunately. But you know, it's recording, so don't worry, guys. You'll understand. Anyways, so immediate breakout. Not only immediate breakout, but immediate breakout confirmation for like 3 or 4 bars, right? So at that point, you know, okay, today is the day where I make easy free money without even using Big Short. Okay?
And and then you
Yeah.
just wait for it to touch the 20 SMA.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about this kind of dip right here? I mean, there's a wick down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not a bad way to go, especially after the five in a row. Yeah, five in a row breakout from the opening range. But absolutely, that 2 bar dip, I would buy it. But the guaranteed buy, but the thing with buying that 2 bar dip that's a little bit trickier is that it might become a 3 or 4 or 5 bar dip, right? And so
Yeah.
you have to be okay with kind of averaging down in that situation. And that's really not the worst thing in the world. So I your point still stands. Like absolutely, I would recommend buying that 2 bar dip. But the guaranteed buy is the 20 SMA, the middle of the Bollinger Band. Okay?
Yeah, either way, you got to be willing to
Kind
ride through
of.
a
I
little
mean, like
drawdown.
usually it doesn't dip this far below the SMA, but either way, it's a trend day. You have to have faith in the trend day. You have to have faith that you're going to make the free money. Um, because reversal days aren't a thing. And sure, we could get range days, right? But in the course of a trend day becoming a range day, there's going to be a lot of chop. It's going to give you a lot of opportunities to get out at break even or better. But anyways, as we can see, it hit the high of day during power hour, right?
Yep.
That's not power hour. Yeah. So you can see that like once you're sure it's a trend day, all you have to do is buy the dip. The trend is your friend. And then you have some like bozos trying to short trend days and stuff. And it just I'm like, why? You know? I mean, personally, I do short trend days because I'm like pretty good at what I do. But there's no reason for people who aren't making a lot of money consistently in trading, in day trading, to be shorting trend days. That's a surefire way to lose a lot of money. So do not short trend days. Just buy the dips and just know that just have faith that whatever dip you buy, it's gonna hit the high of day or at least very close to the high of day sometime during power hour. Okay, next. Is it a trend day?
I would say no, it would be
See, you forgot
really
the
tough
rules
to make that
already.
call.
You forgot the rules already. What's the rules?
Well,
What's the
I mean,
rule?
it it does break out all the way out here.
Yeah, the rule is it has to break out before noon, right?
Yeah, I see that
Yeah. And so before noon, we had one, two, three. I think I can't even see what time it is. Show me the noon candle.
right here.
Uh, that's the noon
Yeah, this one.
candle. Okay, so
Yeah.
that obviously we have broken out before noon because we've had one, two, three, four, 5 bars in a row before noon. Therefore, it is a trend day. Okay, you got to remember the rules. I taught you we got to have an opening range breakout before noon. The stronger the breakout, the better. This breakout is so enormously strong that it negates the effect of it being kind of a later breakout. Okay?
Gotcha.
So we do get this trend day, and because it's a late day breakout, it acts a little funky. You know, this 20 SMA, it doesn't hold up quite the same way. And it becomes like this kind of like volatile, like sort of like you're riding one of those mechanical bulls kind of thing. But still it works. Okay. And let me see here. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. No, it doesn't hit the all-time high. No, it doesn't hit the high of day during power hour, but you still get like this spyable dip. Okay. This is a choppy, ugly trend day. I would rate it as a little bit more difficult than the golden trend day that we saw a couple charts ago. The one where I said, okay, now you're getting it. All right, next. Is it a trend day?
Yeah.
It is absolutely a fucking trend day. This is the golden trend day. This is the second
Yeah.
golden trend day we've seen in this set. Okay? So I want to train your eyes to be able to see these kinds of days because because when you see these kinds of days, you have to realize, okay, this is a gift, right? This is where I make my free money.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And the rules are very simple. We have a 11 a.m. Eastern breakout, well before noon, right?
Hmm.
And not only do we have that 11 a.m. breakout, we have it's just relentless. It's nonstop. Okay. So absolutely that once it goes back up to the SMA, you can short that shit. And it's not as easy to short a downtrend day as it is to go long an uptrend day. But you absolutely, I mean, you could basically short at any point in a downtrend day. That's, before the afternoon. And you can
Yeah.
basically buy at any point in an uptrend day before the afternoon. Because like I told you, by definition, trend days will uptrend days will have their high of day in power hour. Downtrend days will have their low of day in power hour. So like logically speaking, if you know that to be the case, if you know that power hour is going to be either the high of day or the low of day for a downtrend day, then you know that it doesn't your timing doesn't even matter at that point, right? Just blindly short any time and you make money. And this is a day in which actually a lot of us were just blindly shorting because we know that it's a downtrend day. And likewise, in an uptrend day, you can kind of blindly go long too. Um, but definitely, like you still have that bounce towards around the general vicinity of the 20 SMA. And in this case, sometimes they try to like instill doubt in your mind. They'll give you like this big scary green candle that just bursts through the SMA,
Yeah.
but 99% of the time it's a bluff. It's gonna go back down. Okay? That's just the way that emotions move. Um,
Yeah. And using Big Short too, I mean, this seems
yeah,
like a
this this
pretty,
this this was a super easy day. Everybody made money shorting this day. Okay, but aren't you amazed by these magical things that I'm pointing out? That if it is a trend day, like literally it means that you can bet in the direction of the trend, and in power hour, you will be profitable. Okay? Trend days are so easy, free money days. We have to be able to recognize trend days. For those of you who are just joining us, we need a breakout of the hourly range before noon, and the stronger and more confirmed the breakout, the better. Okay, next. Is it a trend day?
no.
Show me the 12 noon candle. You got to reflexively go to the 12 noon candle. Okay, see? It's not a trend day. But I want you to
Hmm.
go to the candle before saying no. Okay? I want you to
All right.
reflexively go to the candle. That candle at that point in the chart, at that point in the day, if you like take your hand and you cover the right side of the chart, you'll see that there's no breakout of the opening range. Therefore, it is not a trend day. Therefore, it is probably like, I don't know, a range day or something. And then if you notice after that, there's a lot of chop. There's a lot of up, down, up, down. And so you have to kind of trade it as a range day where there's not a lot of free money. Okay?
Yep.
So next chart, I fully expect you to go over the 12 noon candle. Is it a trend day?
No. Oops.
Yeah, you're right. It's not a trend day. It's a range day. So that means we go to the bottom of the range, we go to the top of the range, and um, range days are tougher to trade because you don't know exactly where it's going to inflect. But generally speaking, on range days, you want to buy around the bottom of the range and you want to short around the top of the range. But this is not a lesson on range days. This is a lesson on trend days. And I'm giving you trend days because if you, the noob trader, the noob day trader listener to this podcast, if you're new to trading and all you ever do is you wake up in the morning, you watch the market, you watch SPY until you see if it's a trend day or not, and then you go to sleep if it's not a trend day. If you do only these things, then you will be successful. And you don't even need Big Short. And I'm saying this to you as the founder of Big Short, so it must really be true because I have an incentive to for you guys to use Big Short. But but this is just how easy day trading can be if you pick your spots correctly. Like if you go to to the casino and you only sit at the pro poker table every day, you'll lose money. But if you sit at the table with all the fish, you'll make the easy money. So, there's and then there's these people that are like, yeah, I'm gonna make $1,000 a day. That's my goal. That's fucking stupid. Okay? Your goal should be to make $0 a day most days and like $10,000 a day 1 out of 10 days. Okay?
Hmm.
That's the way to do it. Anyways, next. Is it a trend day?
No.
It's not a trend day. Yeah. Well, we kind of got a little bit of a breakout, a 2 bar breakout of the hourly range before that, as you can see. So that was a bit scary, but it ended up being a fake down, but it was still indicative of some weakness, right? And then so we have some follow through as a result. So when we have something like this, we're like, huh, is this a trend day? Because we don't know at this point whether it's a trend day or not. And let me highlight for you. We don't even know at this point whether it's a trend day or at this point it's a trend day. At this point, there's still some ambiguity. Like we still could possibly have a trend day, right? But then we go all the way back to the top of the range. And then at that point, we're like, okay, this is definitely an invalidated trend day, but this nomenclature of like golden trend day, marginal trend day, they're just kind of heuristics to help you. When in actuality, you you're you're just sort of like trying to categorize similar situations, but e- even if something doesn't fit neatly into one category, history still rhymes, right? And so the fact that we have this breakdown, it does lend itself to more weakness, right? Because like this is a breakout of the opening range. We have a lower low, right? And so for it to fully be invalidated, this actually has to go straight up and create that megaphone pattern that we saw a couple of days ago, which we basically never see. And so in all likelihood, this is going to be an equal high or a lower high. And the fact that we got that lower high, it creates a lot of weakness in the follow through. Okay? So this is how I want you to kind of be thinking about trend days. I don't want you to just go straight to the 12 noon candle and be like, nope, we're inside of the range. I want you to go from left to right and imagine what it feels like to you throughout the day. And at this point of the day, you're thinking, oh, this very well could be a trend day. Okay? All right, next.
Hmm.
Is it a trend day?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely. Well before the 12 noon, we have the breakout. At what time did we get the breakout?
yeah, like all the way down here,
Yeah. So what time is that? What time is the breakout?
10:40, and then
10:40. Yeah, that's really early.
from
So this falls into that golden trend day pattern, kind of, I mean I mean it could be better, but it's basically a golden trend day. So we get that relatively early breakout. We get a solid follow through. And then so we know at that point that the dips are viable, and we know that we're going to hit around the high of the day during power hour. And all those things happened, right? We hit around the high of the day during power hour. Looks like around the beginning of power hour, maybe, right here.
hmm
Like, let's see, 15, 30, 45, 1. Yeah, around the beginning of power hour. And a lot of times that is when we get the high, because it's kind of like risk off. All the day traders are like, okay, this is guaranteed, but now that Mr. Miyagi is coming and say power hour, all of a sudden, I don't have the protection anymore. I don't have the protection of the trend day. So a lot of times the day traders will exit right at the beginning of power hour. And it's getting to the point where the new meta is kind of even like 15 minutes before the beginning of power hour. But these kinds of little details, you don't have to worry too much about them for now. For now, let's just learn the muscle memory and let's learn reflexively how to identify trend days, where to buy the dips on trend days. In this situation, we did get a burst through the SMA, so that would have been really scary. And this is really scary too. But I mean, eventually we still get like so. Just imagine like I just want you to emotionally feel this strength, big strength. Well, and then chop, 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 chop. And the fact that we get this horizontal chop, it makes it so like if we approach the SMA from a horizontal angle, it's more likely to break through. But if we approach the SMA like from like a Newtonian gravity angle, then it's more likely to bounce. And even so, like even right here, we got like right above the SMA, and we still bounce for a pretty good bounce right here, right? But
hmm
just beware of this sort of like meandering, slow, horizontal approach. We want this Newtonian approach, like this, bong boom, bong boom, Newtonian. Um, but yeah, still, it's a golden trend day. You buy, you sell around power hour, you make money. Next,
Well, of the ones I'm seeing here too, like looking at the top of the Bollinger, 2 standard deviations above, seems like a pretty good place to exit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, well, that's the problem with that is then you want to exit here, 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 you want
Oh,
to exit the entire way up, right? So, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. I mean, yeah, you'll get like some very short-term resistance at those places, but you might think of them more as like places to pause and take a breath rather than places for some kind of humongous reversal or something.
but if we are waiting for the next dip to enter, that'd be around here,
Sure, yeah.
and here to here is solid,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
No, I
wait for the next
absolutely.
one
That
to
that two
reload.
bar dip that we talked about a few charts ago, absolutely do that if you feel that unidirectional strong golden trend day. Next, is it a trend day?
Yeah,
Yeah. What time do we break out?
it's around here.
Yeah, pretty much immediately. And and
hmm
and keep in mind the earliest that we can possibly break out, logically speaking, is 10:35. So for us to have like a 10:40, 10:45 breakout, that is fucking solid. Okay? So definitely it's a trend day. And did the rule of hitting the low of day during power hour, did it hold up?
Yep.
It absolutely did. And did shorting the first SMA touch, did it hold up? Absolutely it did. Okay? So we're going to keep on going through these charts because we cannot take Tay at his word. Okay? Tay is a fucking furu trying to sell you his fucking course. Okay? So when Tay says this is magical, it works every time, you have to go back and you have to verify it yourself with your own eyes. And that's this exercise that we're doing together right now. And of course, there will be, that once in a blue moon situation where it doesn't work out, but we haven't seen it yet, have we? And we've seen this is like our fourth golden trend day chart, and we still haven't seen a violation. So far the odds are pretty good in our favor. Next.
And again, this lime candle
Yeah,
looks like
sure.
pretty good entry point.
Yeah. Is it a trend day?
Yes,
Yeah. And this is what time did it break out?
looks like almost immediately. Uh,
Yeah. And this trend day, it did not hit the low of day during power hour. And this is also one reason why downtrend days are not as easy money as uptrend days, because downtrend days, they have less of a chance of hitting the low of day during power hour. Uptrend days, it's almost every single time. Downtrend days, a lot of times they'll have like a midday bottom, around somewhere between 11 to 1 or something. Um, but we still get a significant follow. We still have the SMA short that worked right here, and we still have like follow through. Okay, so notice all this follow through that you get. And so I want you to just again emotionally commit this idea to memory, like strong down, retrace, follow through. Okay? You don't know you don't know how strong the follow through is going to be, especially on a downtrend day. On an uptrend day, the follow through is going to hit the high of day. But on a downtrend day, you might even just only get a 50% retracement like we did. And one of the clues that we had that this was not going to be as strong of a trend day is these four guys right here. Okay? This shows that there's not as much of that explosive energy that I'm talking about. Okay? My ideal trend day would be something where like it's unidirectional, but it sort of coils a bit before the hourly breakout. Those are the best trend days. But here it's not so unidirectional because we go down for 20 minutes and then we go up for 20 minutes. Okay? So there's a little bit
when
too much chop, but yeah, go ahead.
when you see that chop, like these four green, are you starting to think about what is the market maker up to? And
Uh,
having that in mind?
uh, if I'm using BigShort, yeah. But I'm just teaching you noob lesson non-Big Short users.
Roger.
Yeah, remember the whole point of this is because you wanted to help make a Big Short guide.
Yep.
So we have to onboard these idiots from like, introduction to trading. Whereas if you're an elite member and you see M2, then yeah, you know exactly what the market makers are doing at any given moment, which is just ridiculous. It's unheard of. But, prior to creating the algorithms where that helped me make millions of dollars, this is how I traded. So let's go next. Is it a trend day?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to see without thinking about it. Um, oh, maybe not actually. Shit.
No, I don't think it's a trend day.
Yeah, because
What
that
time
doesn't
did we
happen
break it?
until
Yeah, it's a late day breakout at
yeah.
12 something. Yeah, so this one I would be really sus about it, but not only am I sus about it, everyone else is sus about it too.
Mm,
So everyone else is sus about it, which is why we have this humongous strong strong trend right here, the strong breakout. But at this point, you think to yourself, okay, it was a late day breakout, but because this is so strong, the dip is viable, right? So this is a situation where I would not be as down to buy this or this, right? But I would be down to buy this. So you talk about, the 2 bar dip on golden trend days, and I say absolutely, yes, buy those. But this kind of dip on a non-golden trend day, this late day breakout, be very, very suspicious here. Okay? And when this happens, don't kick yourself and say, "Oh, I should have blah blah blah." No, that's only something that K-Dog would do. And I'm mentioning K-Dog because he just joined us. But
Uh,
yeah, so don't beat yourself up for missing this. You want to miss this. Okay? If you do not miss this, you are a bad trader. Okay? I am commanding you, miss this. Okay? Miss this breakout, and then when it goes here, buy the dip for a high probability trade. Okay? This is an extremely low probability trade. This you do not want this. You want this small little guy right here. Okay?
it looks like that happened on very small volume too.
Yeah, I don't know. The panes are small, so I can't tell. Is it a trend day?
I mean,
Yeah, it triggered a downtrend day, and we have to have categorized that as downtrend day. But again,
yeah,
like I told you, the downtrend days are trickier than the uptrend days, and this is a day where you just completely get fucked. Okay? I mean, you don't really get fucked. Like what happens is you short somewhere around here if you want to short the opening range breakout, or you short here if you want to short the retrace. But once you hang out here a little bit too long, you get kind of scared. And or if you just want to stop loss it, then you get out here and then you take a loss or something, or you get out here even. You get fucked on days like this. Um, but I want to point out something like something very important to you that will help you avoid this. Before everyone joined this Zoom call, I was talking to John about what the first hour has to look like, right? And John at this point has totally forgotten this rule. So notice how this first hour, it's not unidirectional down, right? That's how you know that this trend day is not gonna is not as high of a probability downtrend day. Okay? So see how this is not unidirectional. It's up and it's down. It's a range, right? But the golden
mhm.
trend days, they're unidirectional during the first hour before the breakout. Okay, next. Is it a trend day?
I'd say yes, but
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. And again, the downtrend days not as easy, but we do have this SMA short that we can do. But but there's enough chop here that we can doubt more. Okay?
right.
And like you just have to recognize these patterns, right? You look at this and you think, okay, like I can come up with some kind of narrative where there's like some market maker fuckery or some coiling or whatever. But no matter what, you have to have more doubt here than that golden downtrend day, which I showed you, where it's just like bam, 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 every single candle is red, you know? Um, but what okay, how about this? If you're totally new to day trading, don't even trade the downtrend days. Just trade the uptrend days because the uptrend days are better. They're easier. Okay, next. And so yeah, so now we've seen enough charts where we're seeing some that kind of break the pattern. Um, so let's actually create a list. Let's create a list. One, is the first hour unidirectional? Two, well, we added AL. Two, did the 15, 30, and 1 hour breakouts happen quickly or slowly? Oh, I can't. Okay, three. And then three, did the last train leave before noon Eastern? Okay. These are these are the three things that you have to check every single time. And a lot of those downtrend days, which ended up fucking us in the ass that we saw a couple charts ago, those didn't have the unidirectional first hour. Um, and and we also look for quicker breakouts for more conviction. And of course, we have to do that thing where we hover our cursor over noon just to make sure. But this is a very solid downtrend day, with the exception of this thing right here. We have 15, 30, wait, 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Okay, sure. At this point, it's like, okay, this looks like downtrend. I don't like this. I don't like this right here. But at this point, I really have to start thinking about downtrend. And at this point, I'm really thinking about downtrend. Okay? And this point, it's like, okay, it's downtrend. And then we go here and I short go there and we get it, right? But again, downtrend days, they're trickier, more chop there. And just notice how there's simply more green candles here than that super downtrend day, that super easy downtrend day we saw where it was like fucking 15 red candles in a row. Anyways, next, is it a trend day?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's leaving like at like a moderate time, 11:30ish, about 1 hour after the hourly range. Um, and it's going up, so we don't need um as much perfection in the chart than if it's going down. When it's going down, we always got to be worried about those I don't know, it's kind of similar to bear market rallies, right? Bear market rallies are the biggest, most ferocious, jerky rallies that you can imagine. And so that's why it's difficult to be a bear, but it's easy to be a bull. So here, we don't have like an absolutely perfect chart, but I do like this coiling here. Okay. I really don't like this candle here. This candle here is fucking sus as fuck. The fact that it went all the way down here. I would want to know how fast that happened. But but if it was not for this bottom wick, I would like this coiling. I kind of don't like this here, right? So there's a little couple things imperfect, okay? But but at this point we're like, okay, this girl is hot. She might have a couple moles, but she's hot. And then at here we're like, okay, this is uptrend day. Okay? Like this is not this is not perfect, but at this point we definitely know. At this point we're highly at this point we have a very, very strong suspicion that this is uptrend day. At this point we know for a fact, right? So
Mhm.
SMA we buy for a couple bars, it works. You could do your little two red bar dip buy and you would buy here and then the next bar is red and then you're kind of scared, but you have to just butt clench and hold it. And then also around power hour, we're around the highs of the days. Not quite this time, but notice, like, you still have decent chance to get out power hour and a big waterfall during power hour, which highlights the danger of power hour. Okay, next. Is it a trend day?
No.
Yeah, but it's tricking you into thinking it's a trend day because this is the beautiful first hour that we want.
Yep.
Okay? immediate 15-minute breakout, immediate 30-minute breakout, an immediate hourly breakout, right? But this breakout bar is just one bar, right? And they're tricking you. They're making you think it's a trend day, but it's a fake out. And the next bar immediately down. Okay? So that's why, like, can you go back to the previous chart? That's why in this previous chart I told you, like, okay, this girl has some warts, but she's hot. And that's why I said at this point we have a strong suspicion. Okay. This is a strong 3 bar move. At this point, we're sure. Okay. And somewhere between strong suspicion and sure, you could potentially ride the wave here, right? But it's about everything holistically. It's about the shape of this. It's about the shit that's going on here. It's about M2. It's about everything. It's about the DPs. There's no DPs underneath, right? Actually, we don't know because you turned off your DPs. But but yeah, so it's kind of a shame that we don't have the DPs for this lesson because, they give you so much more confluence. But but yeah, it's because that's why I don't go here and I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely an uptrend day. No, I go here and I think we have a very strong suspicion. Okay? Because this it closed right at the top and this another green right after. The third green the third green after the breakout is when we're like, okay, come on. Like this really, really low chances of being a fake out here. And at this point we're sure. So let's go back to the next one. So yeah, so at this point, this is like literally the 1030. This is this is the opening range right here. And we just barely peek out above it. And then in the middle of this candle, it's teasing you. It's like, yeah, we're gonna break out. You're gonna miss this train. And then boom, right? And then when you see this kind of fake out and the strong reactionary move afterwards, you have to be thinking that you have to be thinking that it's a very high chance that we touch the bottom of the range, right? Because these fake outs, when they happen, um, they they disappoint a lot of people when the fake out happens. So you're going to get people just selling hand over foot, right? Be that as it may, even though this fake out is way more bearish than it is bullish, be that as it may, you still need to factor the strength of this. Okay. And so when you get back here, you need to think about, okay, there is some kind of trade I could take long here just because there's like this sort of, I don't know how to describe it, like this after effect, you know? It's like strong force back and then, there's a follow through. But the fact that the follow through can't even do a 50% retracement, they can't even cross the SMA, that should tell you, okay, I'm in trouble here, right? At this point, you're in trouble. At this point, trouble. At this point, you're thinking like, okay, this is really bad, okay? And also, you have these limes here that are warning you too. So this is not a trend day, but they really were trying to trick you into thinking it was a trend day. Look how bad it gets after hours too. Okay, this is classic bull trap. And they painted a beautiful picture of the morning for you. This is actually this is actually pretty close to like my ideal uptrend day, right? So if you see something like this and then you see a strong breakout, oh my God, we're going to the moon. Okay? Next is a trend day.
No,
Yeah, and it's actually kind of the opposite of what we just saw, right? We
no.
have like one bar which just barely kind of breaks down, and they painted it to make it look like Tay's favorite kind of morning, but there's just not enough follow through. And then so it becomes a range day. All right, next.
Yeah, especially because at this point, people are thinking that they've got confirmation when the price
Yeah,
is all the way down here.
yeah. Is a trend day.
Ah, no.
Well, we
Well,
do get a breakdown around
okay.
noonish,
Right at
but
noon.
but the way that but again, it's a downward breakdown. We have to be more skeptical of the downtrend days. And also with the fact that we have this kind of pattern in the first hour, it makes us suspicious. Okay. But again, history rhymes, even if it doesn't fit neatly into the category. So we break down, retrace down, you know, there's still the force, the retrace, and the follow through. Force, retrace, follow through. Add that to your notes too. Okay, next.
Let me write that down real quick.
Yeah, it's let's call it big force, retrace, and then smaller force follow through.
Got it.
Is it a trend day? Hell no, it ain't no trend
No.
day. The way you identify the trend day is you immediately, with your eyes, draw the hourly range, and you see like there it doesn't even get close to breaking the hourly range until power hour. So nothing of the sort. Next, is it a trend day?
Yeah. Um,
It's a really choppy downtrendy kind of thing, and this is also FOMC. So you know it's going to be quiet before the rate announcement, and that also um, changes the changes the psychology too, because people are just holding back. They're not really making their bets here yet. So let's not call this a trend day. It's FOMC, too much chop, breakout's not decisive enough. Um, if if this happened on a day when it was not FOMC, it would be a lot more bearish. I don't know if we would qualify it as a trend day per se. Maybe if we had like a couple more reds, and maybe if this happened a little bit earlier, then maybe this could tilt us towards a trend day. But it's at this. But given that it's FOMC, we can't even be bearish here. We can't even be bearish. Okay, next. Is it a trend day?
no.
Yeah, we don't break out until it looks like 2 p.m. or something,
Yeah.
unless you count that weird ass top wick. Okay, next. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. No, not really. It's
No.
super choppy in the first hour, and it had this like very half-hearted attempt at breaking out around noon. Right here is very half-hearted. It's like, oh, never mind. I'm gonna go take a nap. Okay, next.
Pretty
No,
choppy.
next.
No.
15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Yeah, it's too late in the day. Too late in the day.
Yep.
Next. And it's too choppy. Too choppy, too late in the day. Is it a trend day? Ooh.
Yep.
15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. So that's a trend day, right?
Yep.
So yeah, we looks like we break out here. Wait, what is it? 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Is this the hourly mark? Yeah, yeah. So we
Yeah.
so we break out here, but we get three of them. And then we get this, which is really kind of scary. And again, you get a lot more of these in the downtrend days than the uptrend days. Very scary. By this point, we're like, okay, trend day. Then we go down. Um,
On the downtrend days, it definitely looks like waiting for the SMA 20 is the safest bet.
yeah, yeah, you got to be a lot more careful trading the downtrends and the uptrends. I'm still waiting for a solid uptrend so that I could show you and be like, look how beautiful this is. You got to develop a taste for them. This is not beautiful. Let's just
No.
keep skipping until we see something beautiful. Okay.
This looks better.
Yeah. So let's see. It's all about the timing here. Uh, so we have 10:30. I can't even read your shit. Is this 10:30?
Yep.
Okay. So this is uptrend day. This is beautiful. 3 bars here, beautiful uptrend day. And then so we know on the dip, around SMA we buy, moves it ups, and it fulfills the magic rule. High of day during power hour. Okay? So, so yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of money, but it's free money and it's risk-free money. If you're new to day trading, wake up in the morning, see if it's an uptrend day. Don't even trade the downtrend days because you're a fucking moron. See if it's an uptrend day. If it's an uptrend day, you make your money between noonish and afternoon. Get the fuck out before power hour. Only go long, only go in the direction of the trend. You'll make money. So you see how like when it's like a golden pattern like that, like it's a lot cleaner, you know? It fits. The glove fits. Next.
Does this apply outside SPY?
No. I mean, it applies for like ES futures and stuff, which is basically the same thing as SPY. I think it might kind of apply for QQQ, and I think you know what it applies for? It applies for commodities. And and it actually does apply for individual stocks sometimes, but not all the times. The problem is that individual stocks are a lot easier to manipulate. So you want something where it's not so easy to manipulate.
Right.
Hell no.
No. Say yes. It's kind of late.
Let me see here. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. So that's oh, I like that it does this fake out to the upside. So that already adds some bearishness to the situation. And then here, 11:45 is a little bit late of a breakdown. So again, these downtrend days, they're rarely perfect, like that golden downtrend day that we saw early in our chart readings. But this is very solid. I mean, I wouldn't say this is very solid, but it's very noteworthy. Yeah, I mean, it's a little late, but this adds weight to this adds weight of evidence to our case that we're trying to make. You know, we see this and we go see this, and it's a little bit late, but you know what? This guy is probably a murderer. Then we see this and like, okay, this guy's a murderer. And then we see this and we're like, oh my God, this this rip is gonna be sold. We got this big rip, and honestly, I think this is the place to sell the rip, and you make your money on this red bar right here. Whereas all of this is a little not as safe. And I know this move, like I'm sure like Doc Audio or whatever his name is, he just fantasizes about trading this move, but you can't you gotta trade what's high probability when you're new. When you get better, you can trade the low probability trades. When you're really good, you could trade trades where it's like, yeah, I have like a 20% chance of winning this, and you can still do that trade if you want because you understand the risk and reward. But this guide is for fucking complete idiots, and idiots, they need to stick with high probability. Next. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Um,
It does happen before
yeah,
noon, but
yeah, it's a
this
little bit
is
late and it's a downtrend. But yeah, notice for a lot of these downtrend days, we don't have the low a day touch in power hour. So maybe we should
mm,
replace the rule with something like in a downtrend day, expect a new low after the first retrace or something like that. Yeah, that sounds like a downtrend day rule. Whereas uptrend day is like, you're gonna get near the highs by power hour. Okay, next. I'm still looking for that golden uptrend day.
there it is.
Ooh, okay, let's see. 15.
Well, this kind of sharp down.
Yeah, I don't like the sharp down. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. But I do like this coiling before the breakout. Yeah, it happens right before noon, right in the nick of time. Yeah. Um, and then so yeah, we get this really strong one and we go down here, we could buy. And so this is the small easy money afternoon, right? And we're around the highs of days during power hour here. And then we have this typical waterfall at the end. Looks like it could have been a honey badger day for all I know. Next. Next. Or should I teach that one? No, that's too choppy. Okay, all right. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay, see, I love how this morning is so much smaller than the breakdown. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Yeah, just a fucking peaceful ass morning. No one has a fucking clue. At this point, Kenneth's like, man, nothing's gonna happen today. I'm gonna go sleep, right? Then we get this bar right here, and it's not late at all. It's 11 a.m. It's 30 minutes after the hourly range. Boom, boom. Yeah, at this point, you know some business is going down today. Okay? And look how strong it is. Okay? So when you see a strong force, especially when the strong force is is it dwarfs the hourly coiling, you get a lot of strong follow through. But it's a downtrend day, so be careful. Like for all we know, like it could have just, rallied after 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay, let's see here. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Boom. Yep, it's downtrend day. This is the perfect downtrend day setup. The force is very strong. We go up SMA 20 short. When I teach this live to my students, like my IRL students, what I'll do is I'll actually take like a piece of paper and I'll cover the right side of the chart so they're not biased. So if you really want to get good, then do that on your own time. Okay, next. Okay, this is looking pretty good.
Yep.
15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah, that's solid. I like that there's a coil here, but notice how the coil it doesn't even touch the SMA 20. Okay, like if this was like really choppy, like going below and like going deep, but this is not even a 50% retracement. You go boonk, and it goes down a little bit, but these dips are getting bought here before the breakout. And this is very solid. So this is I would say a golden uptrend day. It's golden uptrend day. We go up, buy these dips, and then high of day during power hour, and another high of day at the end of power hour. Golden uptrend day. Easy, high probability money. Next.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Yep. We immediate 15-minute breakdown, immediate 30-minute breakdown, immediately hourly breakdown. And this point it's like, come on, guys, it's just a fake down. It's not real. It's not real. And at this point we're like, nope, it's real. It is so real. And you fucking that's how you know. Boom, boom, boom. The retrace dips. And now it's starting to get really scary here. We could get like a huge rally from here. So at this point, you really need to take the chips off the table. Let's see, 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Nope, not even close. Not even close. Uh, oh yeah, we get a little bit of a fake out here right before 12, but even if we did get something up here, this would have to be enormously strong because this is really strong. Like look how long these red candles are. Look how huge they are, right?
Yeah.
So we need something really strong to counteract that. We need some kind of symmetry of force. Next. Mm. Okay, I think maybe this is a teachable chart. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Wait, wait, let me count. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Okay, so this is the hourly range right here. And then we barely go above it, up. Okay, you know what? This is the first time that we have seen a failed uptrend day. But remember the hourly setup, it's not our ideal setup. because we do have this chop that retraces the entire bar. In fact, it even touches the bottom of like the bottom of the range. Like this is actually threatening a 30-minute breakdown here. But I mean, like, it's still good for a buy here. It's still good for a buy, but this is a kind of move where you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna get fucked most of the time. Like, sure, this does tell you that this does lower your conviction, but I don't know if it would lower your conviction enough that you don't get fucked by this. Yeah, this is this is something you have to consider it out of the ordinary. It's got to be some kind of Trump tweet or something. Yeah. Um, this is not a natural move. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you this is the kind of day where you gotta have some kind of stop loss. Like this is just ridiculous. There's no way to avoid this. You are fucked. So it'd be funny if like some new day trader signs up and watches my video and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. All I have to do is identify the trend and they buy here. And they're like, God, this Tay guy is a fucking scammer. Well, you know what? If I'm a scammer, then that's your fault. Because I'm telling you to go back historically and look for yourself. Where does it fail? How often does it fail? And when it fails, what do you stand to lose? Right? So you have to construct your system and your rules around what actually happened in history, not because some guru tells you what to do. But yeah, I mean here, like, I don't know, man. I think I would lose money. I think I would lose money on this day. That's just too hardcore. Next.
But if you bought it at the 20, um, and you exited at the end of this candle, it's it's not that much that you lose, you know?
Well, you would make money in that case, right?
Well, if you bought it at the 20 and exited after this red candle, you'd lose.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
maybe you,
it's not that much,
yeah, yeah. I
but
mean,
that would tell you to get the fuck out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, um, yeah. And like there's also a case to be made for shorting here as well. And there's also a case to be made for shorting here because basically, so remember one of the golden trading rules of Tay is reversal days don't exist. This is a reversal day at this point, right? So reversal day trading, it's it's not crazy to short the breakdown here on a reversal day. But, if this is a guide for beginners, just tell yourself these days don't exist. Reversal days do not exist. So, yeah, sorry. Oh, shucks. You lost all your money. Okay, this looks promising.
All right, so here's the bottom of the range right here.
Okay, so then here is when we're pretty sure that we're breaking down. And we get some follow through, but it's just really not um it's not fun or easy. But I mean like these bars are still huge. Like you could still make money on them, but again, it's downtrend. You got to be scared. And we get that V-shaped bottom. You always have to be worried about that V-shaped bottom on the downtrend days. You don't have to be worried about that on the uptrend days, except for the rare case where an uptrend day becomes a reversal day, which is never. Okay, next. Okay. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Oh yeah. Very, very
That's
good.
right.
Very good. Yeah, I like how low volatility this is, you know? Like it's just very like nobody gives a flying fuck. We're just gonna sort of like grind up. We're gonna float up without a care in the world. And I really like this long consolidation and then these two bars here to a new high. You know, that's very strong. SMA 20 buy is good. We just keep going up and then high of day near power hour. Yeah, very very classic. Let's get
Yep,
out of here. Okay, let's see. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Let's see when we break down.
right here.
Yeah, it's right around on time. Like it's not early, it's not late. It's right around on time. So we get this breakdown big force, retrace, and then a weaker follow through force. And that's pretty much the easy trade. So so yeah, like, I'm teaching you guys the easy trades first. And I used to always tell Sarah, pullback, easy trade. Like if I could condense the heuristic down to just 3 words, it would be pullback, comma, easy trade. That's the heuristic. Pullback, easy trade. But but then it's more complicated than that because what is a pullback? A pullback is only possible if you've already had a big surge, right? So big surge, then a pullback, and then you buy that dip and then it's the easy trade. But you need that big initial force first in order to have the follow through. I'm trying to think of a good real world physics analogy that would go with that. Hmm.
What do they call those balls that uh there's like five metal balls on strings and you pull one back and it clicks them back and forth.
No, no, absolutely not. I'm thinking something more like a car crash or like if I like fly an airplane into the side of a mountain or something, you know? Like, oh, I know. How about let's just fly an airplane directly into the ground, okay? So, so flying an airplane into the ground, it's a whole lot of force. It's both the gravitational force and the force of the airplane's engine. And with that much force, you're bound to get some follow through. So the plane bounces and then falls back down to the ground. And you can make a reliable trade that the plane is going to fall back down to the ground. Whereas like if you were so let's say you're tracking two objects. One is a plane that's that's flying directly into the ground at a very high speed. Another is a bird that is like, gently fluttering down to the ground, right? So the plane is going to have a secondary force after hitting the ground. The bird, not so much. The bird's just going to like gently land on its feet and then, use its beak to like pick at some insects that it sees. So you can't predict the bird's movement as easily as you can predict the plane's movement. Sorry, that's the best I could come up with at the current point. All right, this is not it. So wait, do we have a breakdown? 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. Nope, nope, we don't have that breakdown. So you see how like, waiting for that break breakout confirmation, it really saves us a lot. Saves us a lot of heartache.
Yeah, because these two candles invalidate it right here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, there's still a point at here where I'm feeling kind of greedy and I'm thinking like, yeah, I really want this to be another big red bar so I could short this shit, but it doesn't happen. So next.
range.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Okay, let's see what time the breakdown's happening. 11. I can't see it. What does it say? 11,
So
oh, it's
this
11.
11:45.
Okay, yeah. So it's like right in the nick of time. But even though it's right in the nick of time, this helps a little bit. The fact that we at least kind of tested it or went 1 pixel below at a relatively early time. And I like this big move followed by the small bounce, right? This is the plain boom, small bounce, and then follow through. So pullback, easy trade. I like it. And remember, the the downtrend day rule is not low day and power hour. The downtrend day rule is large force will see a follow through um, after the pullback or something. I don't fucking know. Next, this is good. This is very pretty. 15. I like how tight it is in the morning. 15, 30, 45, 1 hour. It is a bit of a late breakdown. Yeah, it's like it's edging us a lot here. We're getting very frustrated here. And then finally, all the day traders who are frustrated, they're like, whatever, I'm gonna go to lunch. I'm exiting my puts. Fuck this. And then we get here into 11:45. At this point, we're very suspicious. This point we know. This point we definitely know. SMA 20 we short. We probably exit here and we miss out on all of this and then we hate ourselves. Okay? That's how we trade. Unless we also have like the big short indicators and then we know how to stay in or something. Ooh, this is golden. This is picture perfect, golden, perfect. This is the result of like actual real like unbridled sentiment.
Yeah, so here's
15, 30, 45, 1
10:30
hour. Yeah, it's
immediate.
perfect. Yeah, notice how it goes straight up and that, there's we never have two red bars in a row. And the only time we have red bars, it doesn't even it's retracing only like 10% of the move, right? When you get these small pullbacks, these small retraces, that means that they can't knock it down. That means that this is very strong. So I love this strong consolidation here. And then we get the breakout right on time. At this point, we know for sure. Boom, 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 boom. SMA 20 buy. We exit here. We hate ourselves. But this is so strong, strong force. And notice the time dilation. This is a long time of going down, but it's not a long price of going down. It's like this is like 50 minutes of pullback, but the difference in price is very small. It's like 50 cents or something. So so this pullback is very shallow compared to this move here. That's how we know that this move is going to be strong. So this move is strong, and then we go down here, um, and because this second move was also strong, because you remember on the previous uptrend days, we would have this force, we'd have the SMA touch, but then it would kind of like go like this, right? It kind of go zigzag horizontally. But here we're hitting new high, 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 new high. So this whole time we're hitting new highs. Think about how frustrated Kenneth feels that he sold his calls here. Like, think about how frustrated people are that they missed out on this, right? So they're going to be eager beavers when this dips. They're going to have faith in it because of this. And then it goes back up and we hit high of day in power hour exactly like we're supposed to. I think we can end the lesson on this note because this is picture perfect. The only thing that could possibly make this more perfect is if it was like a 3% uptrend day. This is only a 0.46% uptrend day. But there are days that look exactly like this where it goes up like 2.5, 2.8%. And those days are the days when you make all of your money. So don't set a daily profit goal. Don't tell yourself I'm going to make $1,000 a day. That is stupid. You gotta take what the market gives you. Some days you're going to go out fishing, there's going to be a lot of fish. Some day you're going to go out fishing, there's going to be no fish, and then you're going to be frustrated, and if you're a fucking idiot, then you jump into the lake chasing the fish and then you drown. So just you gotta be like the water, okay? You can't be stubborn. I think so John, you asked me to teach you the SMA 20. I taught it to you today. You can see now why I really didn't want to do this. But, but I did it. So
Thank you,
you're going to
Tay.
repay me by creating some nice guides and uh and yeah, good luck to everybody.
Cool. Thanks, Tay.
Yep. Thanks, John. All right. Bye all. Well, should we open to questions? Does anybody want to ask a question before you cancel this out? There's not even a lot of people here, so I'm guessing nobody wants to ask questions.
Hey, this is Stardom Lead. I
Who?
I'm new.
What's your username?
Stardom Lead, SCODMLEAD.
Okay. I don't recognize you, but go ahead. Ask a
Yeah,
question.
I'm new to Big Shot. I just joined last week. I've been going back and looking at your previous recordings. This one I had to unfortunately join half the way. Where do you post this one? This will also go into your YouTube channel, or
Yeah, yeah. We'll post this one. This one seems like a good one to post.
all right. Okay. Thank you so much. It's like very informative. So hopefully I start to trade well. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck and, be careful if you're new. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.